I used to watch charts for 12 hours a day. I'd wake up at 5 a.m., open my platform, and I wouldn't close it until market close. I was glued to every tick, every candle, every movement. I thought that's what dedication looked like. And you know what happened? I lost money. Consistently. For months. Then one day, I got sick. Too sick to sit at my computer. I set one alert from my setup, left my phone across the room, and went back to bed. The alert went off. I dragged myself out of bed, placed the trade from my phone in 30 seconds, and went back to sleep. That single trade made me more money than the entire previous week of 12-hour days combined. Screen time wasn't helping me. It was destroying me. Screen time is destroying your account. Not helping it, destroying it. The more hours you spend glued to those charts, the more money you lose. And I don't care what every trading guru on YouTube tells you about watching the market and staying engaged and putting in the hours. They're selling you a lie that keeps you broke while they profit off your desperation. You spend 8, 10, maybe 12 hours a day staring at charts. But less than 5% of that time is actually executing your system. The other 95%, you're slowly destroying your ability to trade profitably. Most traders stay stuck because they don't have the right information. I've put the best trading books in history in the description below, free. Everything you need to become profitable is down there. Stick with me to the end because what you're about to hear will save you from the mistakes that kept me struggling for years. Check the description, there's real value there. If you've read a trading book that changed your trading, drop it in the comments. I want to add it to this collection. That one comment from you could change someone's entire trading career. Let me be brutally honest. Every minute you sit there watching price tick by tick, your brain is manufacturing opportunities that don't exist. You start seeing patterns in random noise. You start imagining setups that don't meet your criteria. You start feeling this burning FOMO every time price moves without you. And then you take a trade not because it's your setup, but because you've been sitting there for 4 hours and your brain is screaming that you need to do something. Your brain doesn't care about your trading plan. It cares about feeling productive. After 4 hours of staring at a screen, it will create any reason, any justification to make you click that button. You're not seeing real setups. You're seeing what your bored, desperate brain wants to see. You take trades that kind of look right. You convince yourself this move might work. You bend your rules just enough to justify the entry. If you weren't watching, you never would have taken it. But because you were there, watching, waiting, desperate to do something, your brain manufactured an opportunity. That's not trading. That's self-sabotage in real time. Here's the real reason screen time destroys accounts. Watching charts all day fries your nervous system. Every single tick is an emotional event. Price goes up, you feel something. Price goes down, you feel something else. Do this for 6 hours straight and you're fried. Completely fried. When you're emotionally exhausted, discipline doesn't exist. You can't follow your rules because you don't have the mental energy. You start trading how you feel instead of what your plan says. You revenge trade. You chase entries. You move your stop loss. This is what happens when you expose yourself to thousands of micro-emotional events over hours. The trader who checks the market twice a day, morning and evening, 20 minutes each time, they're not emotionally exhausted. When they evaluate a trade, they're fresh, clear, and objective. Meanwhile, you've been watching for 8 hours and you can barely think straight. This part matters more than anything else. Serious traders do nothing most of the time. They check for their setup at specific times. If it's there, they execute. If it's not, they leave. No drama, no stress. But you sit there for hours feeling like you're working. You're not. Watching is not working. Being present while doing nothing productive is procrastination disguised as discipline. Real work is building a system with rules so clear a stranger could execute it. Real work is backtesting that system until you know exactly how it behaves. Real work is journaling every trade. Real work is executing only your setup and having the spine to do nothing when it's not there. None of that takes 10 hours of screen time. Most of it happens away from the charts. When you're watching charts for hours, you're burning through your mental energy on meaningless questions. Should I take this trade? What about this one? Is this my setup? By the time your actual setup appears, you're mentally exhausted. You hesitate. You miss the trade because you're too tired to pull the trigger. The trader who only shows up when their alert triggers, they're fresh. They see the setup, they execute, clean, fast. Now, here's what nobody tells you. The more you watch, the more you overtrade. When you sit in front of charts all day, you feel pressure to justify that time. Your brain starts asking, why am I here if I'm not trading? 3 hours and I've done nothing? That's when you lower your standards. B setups start looking good enough. C setups start looking acceptable. You're not trading your edge anymore. You're trading to validate the time you've wasted sitting there. The trader who checks twice a day for 20 minutes doesn't have this problem. Setup is there or it's not. If it's not, they leave. Zero pressure, just objectivity. Backtesting hundreds of examples shows you how your strategy performs in every condition. Reviewing your trades after the session when your emotions aren't screaming at you. Studying historical charts where you can analyze without money on the line. None of that requires watching live. In fact, watching live is one of the worst ways to learn because you're emotionally involved. Professional traders check at specific times. They evaluate if their setup is present. If yes, execute. If no, leave. That's the entire day. By staying away when their setup isn't there, they keep their mental energy and emotional stability. When you watch for hours, you start developing opinions about what price should do. Once you have an opinion, you're done. You stop trading your system and start trading your belief. Your system is based on statistics. Your opinion is based on the last 30 minutes of price action and whatever emotion you're feeling. One makes money. The other destroys accounts. The trader who shows up for 20 minutes, no time for opinions. Setup is there or not. No narrative, no bias. Just rules. If you ignore everything else, remember this. The less time you spend watching, the better your entries and exits become. When you watch in real time, you second-guess everything. Every pullback makes you think about exiting. Every push makes you think about adding. But when you're not watching, you trust your system. You set your entry, stop, and target. Then you leave. You're not there to interfere. Your system gets to actually work. You let winners run because you're not panicking at every pullback. You let losers hit your stop because you're not moving it and hoping. By removing yourself, you trade better. Let me tell you about the trade that made me realize this. I was trading a momentum breakout on a tech stock. Perfect setup. Everything lined up. Volume was there. I entered at the open, and then I sat there watching. For 3.5 hours. Every single pullback felt like the trade was failing. My hands were literally shaking. I moved my stop twice. My heart was pounding. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore, and I bailed at break even. 30 minutes later, it ripped straight to my original target. Would have been a $20,100 winner. Instead, I made nothing and felt like an idiot. The next week, same type of setup on a different stock. This time I was running errands. I placed the trade from my phone in a parking lot, set it and forgot it. Came back 3 hours later, target hit, won $600 profit. I didn't even feel stressed. Same strategy, different outcome. The only variable was whether I was watching or not. That's when it clicked. I wasn't helping my trades by watching them. I was killing them. But it's not just your account that's bleeding. It's everything else. You're sitting there for 10 hours staring at charts. You skip the gym because you need to watch the market. You order takeout for the 4th day in a row because you're too stressed to cook. Your girlfriend asks you a question and you snap at her because you just took a loss. Your friends stop hitting you up because you're always busy trading. You're putting on weight. Your back hurts from sitting all day. You're sleeping like garbage because your brain is fried from watching every tick. And for what? To lose money faster? The irony is brutal. You're sacrificing your health, your relationships, your actual life to sit in front of a screen that's making you broke. Meanwhile, the trader who checks twice a day for 20 minutes, they're at the gym. They're having dinner with people they care about. They're building other income streams. They're sleeping 8 hours. And they're making more money than you. That's the hidden cost nobody talks about. Screen time doesn't just cost you money. It costs you everything. You can't interfere with what you're not watching. You can't overtrade if you're not sitting there looking for reasons to trade. You can't spiral emotionally if you're not exposed to every tick. Less watching equals less interference. Less interference equals better results. You're going to miss setups. And missing a good setup is infinitely better than taking 10 bad ones. Your system gives 1 solid setup per day. If you watch all day, you'll take it. But you'll also take 3 or 4 garbage setups because you were bored or emotional. Over a week, you take 5 good trades and 15 bad ones. Even if you nail all 5 good trades, the 15 bad ones destroyed your gains. You only check twice a day for 20 minutes. You catch 3 out of 5 good setups. You miss 2. But you take 0 bad trades. You win 2 out of 3 and avoid 15 losers. Missing trades doesn't kill you. Bad trades kill you. Setup alerts for your setup conditions. Price near resistance, volume spike, indicator cross. Whatever your system needs. Once you have alerts, you don't need to watch. The market tells you when your setup is forming. Then you check. You evaluate if all conditions are met. Yes, you trade. No, you ignore it and go back to your life. This is how professionals operate. Now I know what you're thinking. But what if I miss the setup because I'm not watching? You won't. That's what alerts are for. But what if the setup looks good but then something changes? If something changes that invalidates your setup, it wasn't actually your setup in the first place. You're just making excuses to keep watching. But what if I need to manage the trade in real time? No, you don't. You have a stop. You have a target. That is your management. If you feel like you need to babysit every trade, your stops and targets aren't properly planned. These objections are just your addiction to screen time trying to justify itself. Reducing screen time gives you your life back. Trading was supposed to create freedom. But if you're trapped in front of charts for 10 hours daily, where's the freedom? You're more imprisoned than someone working a 9 to 5. When you cut screen time, you actually get the lifestyle you thought trading would provide. Your trading improves because you're living a balanced life. You're not desperate. You show up clear, not desperate. The best traders aren't watching all day. They're not grinding. They built systems that work and they execute efficiently. They understand trading is about quality. The trader spending 2 hours a day with a clear system destroys the trader spending 12 hours without one. Every time. Most areas of life reward doing more. Trading rewards removal. Remove unnecessary indicators. Remove emotional reactions. Remove excessive trading. Remove ego. The work is stopping yourself from doing things, not pushing yourself to do more. Think about water. When it's still, you can see straight through to the bottom, crystal clear. But when someone starts stirring it, thrashing it around, it becomes murky, clouded. You can't see anything. That's what excessive screen time does to your trading. The goal isn't to stir harder. The goal is to stop stirring and let the water settle. Professional traders look lazy. They check charts for 20 minutes in the morning, maybe place a trade or two. Close the laptop, live their life. Meanwhile, struggling traders are glued to screens for 12 hours, taking multiple trades, constantly active, obviously working hard. One is profitable, the other is broke. It takes massive strength to sit on your hands when your system gives no signal. It takes incredible discipline to take only your setup when your brain screams for action. Stop measuring by output. Measure by process. Did you follow your system? Win. Even if the trade lost. Did you maintain control? Win. Even if you missed a move. Did you wait for your setup instead of forcing? Win. Even if you made no money today, you're not working for immediate results. You're working for long-term consistency. Every moment you resist trading outside your system, you're compounding future success. Every day you do nothing because your setup wasn't there, you're getting better. One setup with complete mastery makes more money than shallow knowledge of 50 setups. Trade the same setup 100 times. Learn its nuances. Study its behavior in different conditions. This creates real expertise. The goal is making trading boring. When trading feels exciting, you're probably overtrading or risking too much. When trading feels like grinding work, you're probably forcing it. When trading feels like showing up, checking a simple checklist, and walking away, you're doing it right. When you first start reducing your screen time, it's going to feel wrong. The first week, you're going to be anxious. You're going to want to check the charts constantly. You're going to feel like you're missing out. Your brain is going to scream at you that you need to be watching. Ignore it. That's just withdrawal from the dopamine hits you've been getting from every tick. Week 2, you'll start noticing something. You're less stressed. You're making fewer stupid trades. Your win rate is creeping up. Week 3, it clicks. You realize you're actually making more money with less effort. You're sleeping better. You have time for other things. You're not snapping at people. By week 4, you'll wonder why you ever thought watching charts all day was necessary. You'll see traders glued to their screens for 12 hours and think that used to be me. That was me burning out for no reason. This is what the transition looks like. It's uncomfortable at first. Your brain doesn't like change, but push through it because the other side is worth it. The freedom is worth it. The profits are worth it. Your life is worth it. Screen time is not dedication. It's distraction. It's not discipline. It's desperation. The market doesn't reward hours watched. It rewards quality execution. And quality execution requires mental clarity, emotional stability, and the discipline to do nothing when nothing is the right move. Less screen time equals more profit because it removes you as your biggest obstacle. You can't overtrade if you're not watching, can't spiral if you're not there, can't interfere if you're not glued to the screen. The less you watch, the better you trade. Think about your last 20 trades. Maybe 5 out of 20 were actually your best setups. The other 15, you were forcing them, trying to feel productive, justifying your screen time. If you only took those 5, your win rate would be higher, your account would be bigger. Starting now, before every trade, ask yourself one question. Am I taking this because it's my setup or because I feel like I should be doing something? If it's the latter, close your platform. Walk away. That moment of restraint is worth more than any trade you could force. The path to profitability isn't more effort. It's smarter effort. It's the discipline to follow your system and nothing else. It's the patience to wait for your setup and ignore everything else. It's the courage to do nothing when nothing is the right move. If you made it to the end, you're a part of the 2% of traders who actually want to become profitable. You actually have to read books and digest them to handle the psychology of trading. Comment which topic you want me to cover next and the book you think I should add to my collection. Subscribe to get content that cuts through the noise. I'll see you in the next one.